Question 1. What are the three types of join? Answer. The three types of join are inner join, left join and right join. The inner join option takes the matching values from both the tables by the on option. The left join selects all the variables from the first table and joins second table to it. The right join selects all the variables of table B first and join the table A to it. Question 2. Have you ever used Proc SQL for data stigmatization? Answer. Yes, I have used it for summarization at times. For e.g., if I have to calculate the max value of BP for patients 100 and 1102 and 103, then I use the max BPD function to get the maximum value and use group by statement to group the patients accordingly. Question 3. Tell me about your SQL experience. Answer. I have used the Access SQL pass-through facility for connection with external databases and importing tables from them, and also Microsoft Access and Excel files. Besides this, lot of times I have used Proc SQL for joining tables. Question 4. Once you have had the data read into data sets, are you more of a data step programmer or a Proc SQL programmer? Answer. It depends on what types of analysis datasets are required for creating tables, but I am more of a data step programmer as it gives me more flexibility. For e.g., creating a change from baseline data set for blood pressure, sometimes I have to retain certain values, use arrays, or use the first and last variables. Question 5. What types of programming tasks do you use Proc SQL for versus the data step? Answer. Proc SQL is very convenient for performing table joins compared to a data step merge, as it does not require the key columns to be sorted prior to join. A data step is more suitable for sequential observation by observation processing. Proc SQL can save a great deal of time if you want to filter the variables while selecting, or you can modify them, apply format, creating new variables, macro variables, as well as subsetting the data. Proc SQL offers great flexibility for joining tables. Question 6. Why and when do you use Proc SQL? Answer. Proc SQL is very convenient for performing table joins compared to a data step merge, as it does not require the key columns to be sorted prior to join. A data step is more suitable for sequential observation by observation processing. Proc SQL can save a great deal of time if you want to filter the variables while selecting, or we can modify them, apply format and creating new variables, macro variables, as well as subsetting the data. Proc SQL offers great flexibility for joining tables. Question 7. Difference between proc means and proc summary? Answer. Proc summary defaults to NOPRINT. Proc means defaults to print if you omit the var statement. Then proc summary produces a simple count of observations, whereas proc means tries to analyze all the numeric variables that are not listed in the other statements. If you specify statistics on the proc summary statement and the var statement is omitted, then proc summary stops processing and an error message is written to the log. If you omit the var statement, then proc means analyzes all numeric variables that are not listed in the other statements. When all variables are character variables, proc means produces a simple count of observations. Question 8. Do you use proc report or proc tabulate? Which do you prefer? Answer. I prefer proc report as it is highly customizable and flexible, where I can define each column in whatever way I want to and even make use of functions, logic processing, and assignment statements and create new variables for report, making use of the compute block of proc report. I referred proc report because it is more efficient tool than tabulate, because with report we can do means frequency and tabulate also. Question 9. How to display duplicate observations in a data using base Answer. There are two ways to display duplicate observations: in data step, using first.var and last.var using proc sort with option dupout option. Question 10. Does sh translate, compile, or does it interpret? Answer. A typical sh program could contain data steps, proc steps and macros. Macros are pre-processed. Data steps are just-in-time compiled. Proc steps are interpreted in the order they appear in program. So when we submit a sh program consisting of all these three components, the macro is compiled and executed first. If a data step is encountered, then it is compiled and executed. Note that the data step will not be executed if there is an error in the compilation. If a proc step is encountered, it is interpreted and executed line by line. However, I am not certain on this proc step behavior. Question 11. How do you validate sh program? Answer. When a sh code is submitted, sh performs syntactical checks before executing the program code. In that case, one of the ways could be, at the beginning of the code, write options obs equals 0 in addition to other options and then run it. This way data will not be processed and the log shows error messages, warnings, if any. If you are executing the sh code on PC sh, the highlighted colors itself shows the syntactical errors, if any. Question 12. When looking for data contained in a character string of 150 bytes, which function I learn the best to locate that data? Scan, index, or index C? Answer. Index searches a character expression for a string of characters, and returns the position of the string's first character for the first occurrence of the string. Index, source, excerpt, it returns the position where the second field is in the source. Question 13. How would you create multiple observations from a single observation? Answer. Line pointer is used for multiple lines per observation. At is used for multiple observations per line. Question 14. What are some good sh programming practices for processing very large data sets? Answer. Arrays are used for processing for large data set. Question 15. Why is sh considered self-documenting? Answer. When data set is created, sh create descriptor portion and data portion. That means sh stores the information like variable name, length, type etc.